happens. I was like, mm-hmm. So it's just a result of everything, all these damn little rituals I did.
Can you see that, Tori? You ever read them books?
Yeah. No.
The Four Agreements?
Yeah. Bring it in more.
About those books, The Four Agreements?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't see that too well. But
an ex-girlfriend friend, she bought me like all 3 of them because I guess she felt that I was that out of whack. I don't know, but you bought me all 3 of them, and you know what? I was like, you know what? I said, wow.
You got the series.
Yeah, and The Voice of Knowledge, The Mastery of Love. She was like, you need to read The Mastery of Love. I was like, really?
Yeah.
And like I told Drake, not to dive into it too much, but you know, like I said, I was married from, you know, with somebody for 17 years and then married from like, you know, for almost 10 years. She was married 3 times and they failed. And when I say that, she used to get so mad. And I told my cousin, I said, look, she tried to tell me, I don't know what love is. I don't know how you and your wife got along and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I had to say it. Yeah, it was harsh. I was like, it's not my fault that my one marriage lasted longer than all 3 yours. Like, I had to. I was like, I'm sorry. I mean, she threw all kinds of darts at me, so I had to throw one big dart back at her. Like,
big dart.
Like, if I don't know what love is, then okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but don't, you know, come on, don't touch. She was pretty much talking down to me. And so, yeah, it is what it is. But I was like, did you read the books? I was like, yeah, teacher. I did.
Sarge.
Mrs. Miyagi, I read them.
You ready, Mrs. Miyagi?
Yeah. Ready.
Go.
Get off my shirts. Oh, my God, my cat. Freaking cat is on my brand new shirt.
Cats don't give a fuck.
He's on my brand new shirt. What in the world?
What in the world?
So I don't have cats. They don't give a fuck.
Hit that button.
Look at your cat.
It looks like it's.
Oh, you see him? Can you see him? Can you see him really?
All right.
Can you see? Hold on. Yeah, can you see him though?
He popped up like, "What up, yo?"
That's awesome.
Fuck you and your shirts. Bam.
That's funny. It needs to be in my background.
You ready, cat?
Oh shit!
Trying to take my limelight. My cat trying to take my limelight.
I'm gonna need him to make another appearance.
Morning, y'all. It is September. I don't know what the fuck the date is. I think it's the
19th.
Yeah, something like that.
How y'all doing?
We're good. Good morning. Happy Saturday.
Last night I'm really sore and it feels like I fucked like 3 girls at the same time last night, and I'll tell you why. I got a flat. I took my daughter to the haunted house last night. I got a flat on the way.
Wow.
Right. And I wanted to call AAA, but it had a time, so we went to Fear Farm, right here by the Down I-10, and it has a time. You know what I mean? So I was like, shit. If we don't get there, I use the tickets? You know what I mean? So I'm like, do I call AAA? And I'm like, fuck, I haven't changed a tire in 20 years. What the fuck? So I take the spare out, and I'm looking at the spare, looking at the spare, looking at the tire, and I'm like, fuck, do I do this? Do I call? What do I? And my daughter's like, Papa, come on. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm getting all fucking dirty. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I was like, this is why I have AAA, right? I changed my why am I changing my own fucking tire here? But, they would have took, about an hour to get there, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Half hour to change.
We did. And then I'm thinking, is there a 24-hour like tire place, right? And I'm like, there's no such thing as a 24-hour tire place. So I type in 24-hour tire place after we get done going to the haunted house and whatever the case may be. So I go down and I look, and it's in the fucking hood. It's right down the street, 54th in McDowell. I was like, fuck, these fucking Mexicans over here. They got a 24-hour fucking tire place. I love it. I was like, this is so fucking awesome. So I got a tire in the middle of the night. I was like 10 o'clock last night. I was like, I didn't think that the fucking tire place would be open, but they 24 hours. You pull up and 24 hours right next to.
I'm gonna need to get their name.
Right.
24 hours fucking. I was like, this is fucking crazy. But like I said, I woke up. I was sore. I didn't sleep too well, and I was like, Jesus Christ. Crazy. In the meantime, I was supposed to go to Vegas last night, but I was like, I'm not. By the time I was done showering, getting back, whatever, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, there's no fucking way that I'm getting in the car to drive, and I got to do this podcast in the morning, right? So I'm like, oh, right. So we went to Fear Farm. That was a little funny. Normally it's like 5 haunted houses, and there was only 3. I felt like there was
already the haunted houses, huh?
Yeah, it was not a lot of actors. You know what I mean? Like there was just hardly any. So I'm thinking, you know what? This is probably a fucking challenge, right? So they probably have to wear this costume, right? And then they have masks on, so they're probably uncomfortable as fuck.
Just dehydrated city.
And you can tell some of these guys, and I feel for them, right? It's a fucking 110 degrees outside. They're sweating their ass off. They smell. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, what the fuck? As body was ticking, I swear to God. But that was my night. So how was your guys' night?
Go ahead, Tori. You can go ahead. Mine was boring.
Mine was good. I actually bought tickets to not the farm one, but I bought tickets online for next weekend for 13 something 13. What is it?
13.
That's it. Yep. Yeah, it's the first time I'll ever be there. So pretty excited. Halloween is my favorite holiday. So exciting to get that in. I didn't really get to celebrate last year because I really have a lot of friends here at the time. So now I'm pretty excited. I get to do some things. So I got my tickets for that, bought the speed pass because I don't stand in line because I'm outstanding. So and then I made edibles. Edibles for my son. I made can of butter and some brownies and
you're ready.
Yeah, and some cake pops, lemon cake pops. So I did.
For your personal use?
No, I actually back in Detroit I used to sell them, but here I just make them personally for him. I do it every other week. Right. So they're delicious though.
That was delicious. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I know you said you had a rough night, couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
You want to know what I really did? Do you really? I watched How I Met My Mother for like 5 hours, and then I went to go. Actually, I started my day off. I got some sleep, and then I went to go visit a friend who he lost his father, who was 99 years old, and I went over there. He wasn't there, obviously. He was with his family, but his roommate, I just hung out with him for a little bit, and then just to get out, get some air, and then I basically came home and I did my notes and for the podcast, and I got my own little routine. I do stuff and all that and everything, and went back to How I Met Your Mother, and then I met my daughter at 1:30 at night through I guess she was pretty much held hostage by one of her cats. Now my daughter's 16 years old, or gonna be 16, and she was at home, and I always check my email. So when I grabbed my phone, I checked my emails, and I got one from her, and she said, "Can you see it?" And I was like, so I text her, And I don't know if she heard her phone go off or whatever, but she was like, I can't get to my phone. And I was like, what are you talking about? So she called me from from her iPad or her laptop. And I was like, God, thank God my daughter is that computer savvy, because like, I was worried. And then she was like, they got 3 cats, and I don't know if that one was protecting the other cats or what, but so anyways, it scratched her arm up pretty bad. She was bleeding a little bit, she said. And I was like, are you like terrified? Do you want me to come over there, or like, what do you want me to do? She was like, no, it's okay. Can you just text my mom, because I can't get to my phone. It's outside and I open the door and the cat's sitting there. And I just started laughing. Like, are you serious? Like, that's what pillows are for. Beat it with a pillow or knock it to the other side of the room, grab your phone. Don't beat it with the pillow. And then run to the bathroom. I mean, no, I don't like animal brutality or nothing, cruelty. I'm just saying, I was like, if you want to get your phone, and then, you might have to hit it one more time with the pillow and run to the bathroom, get some Neosporin. I don't know.
See, this is the moral of the story. Cats don't give a fuck. Cats don't give a fuck.
So,
okay.
Yeah, her mother ended up texting me and was like, I'm on my way home. I'm leaving work now. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's what you get for having a zoo over there, but whatever. So that was it. And after that, I just pretty much couldn't fall asleep. So, but whatever. Once again,
they have 3 cats. So does the girl.
Through.
So it drives me.
Right.
You have cats too.
The girls, they got 3 cats, a rabbit, a turtle. Yeah.
Does anybody have a dog?
A rabbit, a turtle.
Yeah. You have a dog.
They do. And none of these animals.
None of it's yours.
None of them are.
None of it.
Like right now, I'm being terrorized by my cat right now. He's scratching stuff because he wants my attention. Oh my God.
He wants a debut on the podcast.
One day. He's not ready yet.
He's not ready.
Yeah. Cats don't give a fuck. Like, my girlfriend has a couple cats, and I love them. They actually act like dogs because they're around pit bulls. But these fucking cats they literally will punk you out. Like, the one knows damn well he don't like his belly scratched, and I fall for it every time. He'll be just laying there like, look at my belly. Doesn't it look cozy? Don't you want to rub it? And I fall into the trap and I scratch his stomach, and every time this cat fucking wham, boom, smacks me. I'm like, what the fuck just happened here? I thought we were friends. We're cool. Cats don't give a fuck. They'll look right at you while they're doing something. Knock it right off.
Yeah.
Like,
just
why they always walk around with that attitude, like, why are you in my house? They don't give a fuck. The cats they don't. I can't deal with that. I already got to deal with kids. You got to deal with a cat telling you to fuck off too. I just couldn't do it.
Right, I got to turn around, watch my back every like 20 seconds. Where's he at?
I sent this movie to Alex, sorry, and I was going to send it to you, but I wanted to see what you thought before you watched it.
Okay.
The first thing I want to talk about. It's called The Social Dilemma. Really, really good. Makes you kind of think where our society has gone. It's about social media. It's former engineers from Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, basically saying, look, when we originally created media, it was supposed to connect people. And then somehow the consumer became the product. And that's pretty deep, because basically saying you're in the matrix, but you're not aware that you're in the matrix. You know what I mean? Like, they're selling your information. Anytime you basically you have no privacy. You know what I mean? So, you're searching shoes, bras, I'm searching hats, shoes, whatever. They know everything. And there's this virtual AI that is you inside the space. They're fine-tuning it every minute to make sure that they get you the right products, or they say, okay, he likes this. And what was the scariest thing that I took from it is our kids. So they said since 2011, children suicides went up dramatically because of social media. kids cutting themselves, preteens, teens it's just crazy because of the kids get the instant gratification. Oh, he liked my post, he commented on my post, and they say that these kids cannot disconnect from their phone, and they're tied to it. And as adults, you know what I mean? Like the guy said, hey, when I wake up in the morning, I take a piss and my phone's in my hand and I got to check my notification. I'm like, I'm addicted because I do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like I got to check my, oh my God. And, it's this popularity that really doesn't exist. You know what I mean? And that, all these things with COVID and politics, and they just basically said, hey, they're dividing the country because, they say, oh, Republicans suck, Democrats suck, this person sucks, you know what I mean? And your individual news feed, right? You see something different. I see something different. You think that you have the same news feed, but so let's say, you know what I mean? So let's say I was a Nazi and I was a skinhead. I would see all these hate.
Right.
Hate ads.
You know everything pertaining to that. Yep.
Crazy that behind the scenes, there's the guy, this guy behind the fucking Wizard of Oz. You know what I mean? It's
right. That's what it reminded me of.
The puppet master.
It's like a puppet. You know what I mean? Like it's cool. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed this, but I really have noticed it. My kids, they eat dinner with their phones. They take their phones to the bathroom. You know what I mean? It is just, COVID. Oh, if you drink water, you get rid of COVID. Oh, COVID is like the government knew about it. It looks like a Lysol bottle. You know what I mean? It's just fucking nuts. I mean, what's your take on it? I mean, you have, he's an older, now, but you do have a teenager. I mean, he has a smartphone, but you're adult. You know what it is. Are we a society that we cannot? That this is what we need? And here's the word. Here's the word. It is your digital pacifier. I was like, oh my fucking God. So what's your
it's true. It's true. No, digital pacifier is a great analogy because that's exactly what it is. We're, from everything from social media makes us have this instant gratification. And if you don't have self-control or you're not taught this, and even when you do have it, it's still hard to disconnect from that. We do everything from our phones. I mean, if your phone is down one day, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't talk to nobody. After day 3, I'm like, it's nice that I don't have a phone. But that instant fear of not having this phone and wondering like, what I'm going to do about this. And it just in general, a pacifier is definitely what it is. For me, I guess for my kids, I'm blessed. My oldest son, he doesn't fall into that stuff. I asked him where the Alexa that I got him was. I said, I bought these 3 Alexas. Where are they? He says, Mom, they listen to you on these. And I'm like, what, huh? What do you mean? You can put some cool stuff on and put it in your room. And he's like, don't put that shit in my room. Don't put that shit in your room. Don't put that shit down our hallway. I'm like, oh, okay. So anybody wants to buy some Alexas? I have 3 of them.
Smart.
But yeah,
that's crazy.
Even down to things that you say to people on your phone. I literally in my newsfeed will pop up everything I've said to somebody, not even just texting it, but just talking on the phone in general. I think I discussed a speaker yesterday on video with somebody. I was talking to them and I said, oh yeah, I like him. Next thing you know, I have 4 ads for this motivational speaker pop up throughout my feed yesterday after an hour after I just spoke about him. So it's not even typing in, it's audio, it's everything. Right. Your phone is, it's a spy.
It's a spy. Well, I mean,
it is
crazy that they were saying, we're in the Matrix and we don't even know we're in the Matrix.
Absolutely.
Right.
You said this is on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, yeah.
Social.
It's called The Social Dilemma.
Social Dilemma. I'll check that out this evening.
Crazy
Should be interesting.
They were saying basically that, social media has divided this country so much
Mm-hmm.
from
I
politics,
believe it. Yeah.
to the COVID thing, to just everything. You know what I mean? And the way
Right.
to manipulate us, it's just bizarre. I'm so scared. I had a conversation with my brother, and he doesn't really post on social media. He has an account, and he told me going back to a flip phone and just getting rid of it. And I'm like, it's huge. And I have my other brother-in-law that's not even on social media, and he says it just causing too much drama. But I think more of on a relationship issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a disturbance.
Seems like it
It's a distraction for sure.
No.
like it was a great curation. It caused a bunch of the other problems. You know what I mean? So, but this an artificial AI or behind the scenes that they're fine tuning, um, that they're trying to dial it in. You know what I mean? They're trying to figure out this perfect you in cyberspace so they can constantly sell you a product. You know what I mean? We became a product basically. And they're
Oh,
selling
absolutely.
our
Yeah.
information. I mean, I know we discussed it a little bit, Alex. I mean, what's your thoughts? I know.
No, I watched it, man, and the number one thing that I liked about it was they told a story through a family, and I thought that was cool to give you an actual reenactment of what happens in households, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. I didn't see where it was going. I won't give nothing away, but where the young kid, they basically sit at the kitchen table for dinner, and the mother, well, prior to that, the mother was sitting down with her daughter watching saw a commercial where you can take a container and put a timer on it, put cookies in there, whatever you want, and be like, okay, well, you can get a cookie after an hour, you can get a cookie after 2 hours, whatever. So she got an idea and was like, at the dinner table, let me, put everybody's cell phones. She goes, I came up with an idea, take everybody's cell phones away for, I think she said an hour or something like that, and put it in there and lock it. And she was like, give them up. Everybody gave her the phones. She put them in there. Within like 5-10 minutes, the youngest daughter got up like she was going to get something else and couldn't open it. And her mother was like, I got it set. It's locked for an hour. You can't open it. So, and then, they go back to the dinner table and all you hear is a bang, bang. And she took a hammer to it, cracked it open, broke her brother's cell phone screen, and took her phone, went upstairs. Next thing you know, the whole family separated. And I thought that was the most like thing to me, like all the talk about the algorithms and this and that. And when they started mentioning like algorithms, I started thinking about listening when I went to my friend, my marketing boss, Robert Courtney, and he was talking about algorithms and all this. And like, I started thinking about a lot of things that he was saying during these, not meetings, but these just, when he was speaking. And yeah, I mean, it's like they were using a lot of crazy words, man, manipulating, just, it's a scary thing. And the thing, I'll jump to the end. Like, when they asked one of the guys, like, what can this evolve into? And he said civil war. I was like, wow. Cause because you could be a different country. You don't even have to actually do the invading. You can invade through social media. And I was like, that's when you let that sink in, that's pretty mind blowing, man. And it's a lot of power in social media. And like I said, my friend, he always kind of stresses that. And he's like, but he's a positive guy, so he tries to talk about it. And every time he talks about it as in a positive way. So I thought everybody needs to watch it for sure.
Yeah, I think there could be a lot of positives to it. Social media has allowed everybody to connect in a sense where you don't have to leave your house. And especially with COVID, I mean, look at us. We're having a podcast and we're nowhere near each other. But with all good things put in the wrong hands, and too much of it isn't a good thing. And that's with everything in your life. If you have too much and you have that instant gratification and there is no research to, okay, well, what's better? Is the grass green, or you just literally swipe and it's always greener to you? But that's also, that's also with, you know, relationships, and why relationships aren't the same anymore, because if I don't like what you're doing, I can literally just swipe and now I have something I like. And now us two are disconnected. You're on one couch, I'm on another. We're not talking about it. Instead, I'm liking chicks' pictures. You're doing this. You're like, you know, and boom. And nobody really tries to connect. And then
communicate, right?
Period. Or you ever meet certain people where online they seem amazing, and then you meet them in person and they can't even talk. They have no conversation at all. Like, you're like, okay, is something wrong? They can't communicate. They don't have that skill because of that screen. I mean, I've gone on tons of dates where I'm like, is this even the same person? I think I'm being catfished, because this can't be the same person I was messaging with 2 days ago. Like, this is not at all. Like, who are you? You're a weirdo.
Right.
Well, you know,
and I didn't even know. And I was gonna say, I didn't even know about the catfishing until my daughter introduced me to this show like 4 years ago, or how long ago. And I was like, that's when I was like, you know what? I need to start getting on her a little bit more. And but I was glad that she watched stuff like that, because it you know, it taught her a lot. And you know, I can trust you feel like you can trust your kids, and I you know, you want to believe you can, but it's still dangerous. It doesn't matter. It's just like letting your kid go to the store and, you know, get a loaf of bread or something and just hoping they come back. It's like, I mean, it is. It is a lot worse.
Because you don't know what the person on the other screen is telling them.
Very manipulative for sure.
Yeah, definitely got to watch out.
You went on a couple dates. So I've been on a couple dates, and it is like, I'm a talkative guy. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know you. You know, I'm this hopeless romantic. I'm a 90s dater. You know what I mean? Like,
same.
I want to fucking talk. I don't want to. Right. I mean, like, I want to know about you. You know what I mean? What makes
what happened today? Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, right? So, I've been on a couple dates, and you know what I mean? Like, we're talking, and there's like this totally different person, and then they whip out their phone. Like, when I'm talking, I'm like, should I get up now? You know what I mean? Like, should I get up now? Should I? Money on the table and be like, you know what, you know. So, and my brother says he's been on, he's heard about adults been on dates, and then they start opening their Tinder, or you know what I mean. They start looking at.
Jeez.
I'm like, that's how fucking people are just unaware. Who's the fucking?
I've never been on a dating site before. It's a little known fact of mine. I've never been on a dating site. I've never even made like a profile. Okay, I will say this. I have been on a sugar daddy site, but that's not the same thing. I'm talking like real dates, like like real dates, like try to find somebody.
But no, that's what social media does. It's like, it makes you now. Okay, I'll admit it. I actually did go on like 2 dating sites for a minute, and then I went on one, and I was scared to create the profile, but I just wanted to see what it was like. I don't know why. I don't even know why, because I'm just like, I'm so old school too. I was like, I don't even approach women. I'm a shy guy. I don't approach women. I don't. And I was like, well, maybe that made it a little bit easier for me to do, and that's what made me even more curious. But I did it, and then there was one site I actually seen somebody I knew, and I was like, oh, delete.
Yeah.
I got off, like, because I don't want them to think. Then next thing you know, this guy's on there, whatever, you know. And I wasn't even trying to. I wasn't trying to look for nobody. I wasn't trying to look for no one night stand, nothing like that. I was just curious and bored at home.
When I was in Detroit, my aunt, who I'm great friends with, she's not married to my uncle anymore, who is my uncle. She's my aunt by marriage, and so we lived kind of in the same neighborhoods. And
can't hear you.
Sorry, I got people trying to call me. There was a few, I know, right? There was a few times where she's like, I'm going to go on this site and whatever. And I talked her into going on these sites, right? So I don't know, like, it's probably like 6 months she had been on these sites. And she calls me and she's like, so-and-so on your friends list. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, how do you know him? and I'm like, I don't know. He's tried to talk to me. Like, I don't know, you know. She's like, I dated him, and she starts telling me the whole thing. And mind you, this guy's in my inbox, and I freaked out because I'm like, dude, what if I end up going out with somebody that like my aunt fucked? Like, that's kind of weird. Like, this is fucking weird. I'm not doing this now. And I know she out here doing her thing because she's been married for so long that she having a good time. And here I am. I'm going to end up dating somebody that she dated. And so that totally turned me off. And ever since then, that always sticks in my head whenever someone's like, oh, go on a dating site or Facebook hears me and sees me post a meme about being single and pops up a dating site on my newsfeed. Because they listen.
Right.
I know we talked about the Cardi B. She looks like she's going to get a divorce. And I just with Offset, she said, I think I'm getting a divorce because I don't want to fucking argue anymore. So I've been in a marriage.
Yeah, she's definitely the arguing type.
I'm just saying, I think that's
seems like
why I got a divorce is I don't want to hear you bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, if I'm cheating on you and you know what I mean, like, you give me an earful, or you know what I mean, like, but just to say, hey, you're constantly at work and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, she's saying, I just, you know, he's nothing's wrong. I just don't want to fucking argue. I mean, that's me. That's I want to
real.
Where I'm not fucking arguing. I just don't. I'm just too old. Like,
it's not healthy, man.
I was never the arguing. I was like, shut the fuck up already. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to argue. Can we just be cool? But I mean, what do you guys think about it? I mean, it was. How long have you been married? A couple of years now. It's not that long. 4 years?
3 years? 4 years? 4 years. I read 4.
Something like that, yeah.
The personality that she puts out in public, you know, maybe she's a handful. I don't know. But, I mean, that was pretty quick.
I don't know. I kind of got a couple different views. You know, I heard, first of all, it bothered me when she posted, or they posted that she has, you know, filed for divorce, and then people were like making fun of her, and they're like, oh, she obviously don't got that WAP, you know, like and all these other things. But honestly, like, a woman who clearly sees that the relationship isn't going anywhere, whether it's because of infidelity or it's because they're arguing or whatever's happening, I say good for her. I said, you know, like, a lot of women will stick it out. Hey, 16 years, guilty over here, like, because they want to stick for your kids and they feel trapped, or they feel they don't have any other, you know, outlet or whatever mentally they're going through. And she said it, you know, like, I don't want to argue. I'm done. I'm sure there's a whole slew of things that go on. You know, her music, people want to go ahead and say that that's her real life. Like, she's an artist. That her lyrics is what sells. Her out there attitude is what sells. And I mean, I'm all for her choosing her over toxic relationship. And clearly he's been doing some toxic things. So more power to her. I'm glad to see that she, you know, stayed strong and is going to choose her and her child and her mental health over it all. So good for Cardi.
I agree with you.
Of course. Well, you know, you are. But, I mean, what did you guys? You know, I've been around you and your ex-wife prior. And I never really you guys argue, but you know, I don't know what divorce. You know what I mean? I could tell you my divorce, we fucking argued in public, behind doors. We argued.
Okay.
I mean, did you guys argue a lot? Was that a factor?
I mean, in the beginning, like for me, from what I can remember, it was little petty stuff, you know, who didn't do the dishes, who left this over there. And in the beginning, I'll admit I was real. I'm like, I don't want to call myself a neat freak or nothing, but like, I was like, I wanted things the way I wanted them. I wanted the apartment, the house clean. I wanted this, that, like, you know what I mean? Hey, I'm not saying I was like my man on Sleeping with the Enemy at all. Nothing close to that. But I was like, I wanted an apartment clean. I wanted my daughter to, when I told her, hey, we'll put this away, put that away, So I think in the beginning, the thing is when you, in my opinion, when you first get married and you have a kid, before or after you get married, doesn't matter. My hardest thing was, it wasn't that hard, like to put my daughter first, my family first, but it was just like adapting, learning how to be a father, learning how to be, a husband. And I don't care what anybody says, it's not automatic. That's why you have 4-year marriages, divorced, 1-year marriages, 6-month, whatever. And I still had a lot of growing up to do. And now that I am divorced, I realize that. And but to be honest with you, like, we were friends before we got married. We were friends, like, I knew her since 2003. We got married in 2011. It took that long. So everything was great. It wasn't perfect. Of course, we argued about petty stuff like any other marriage does, but we got along great. Like, we really did. And then it was just like towards the last, couple of years that, we've been, I've been separated for almost like 4 years now. And now I'm divorced, but it was a learning process. And I hate to call it that, but, it's crazy because now we actually get along. Like, it's only been a few days, but but it's funny because, like, I'm actually getting quicker responses, and maybe that's because we finally got that monkey off our back, and it was a lot to deal with in the beginning, and now we can just focus on our daughter, and just like you said, just be cool with each other, and be happy, man. I mean, that's what we're on this earth for, is just to be happy, try to give back whenever we can, and just,
serve our purpose.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it was, like I said, it was a really, now, when you can look back and think about so many things of, what did I do wrong? Well, what did I do right? All of that stuff in one big ball. It's like, if I ever decide to get married again, which I doubt, but
that was going to be my next question. Either one of you think you'll ever get married again?
Right. I you know what? And I don't want to be one of them guys like, no, I'm never going to get married. I'm not going to be like that. But right now, no, I'm not even thinking about nothing like that. My focus is solely on my daughter, taking care of myself, bettering myself for my daughter, and in the long run.
Are you going to get married again?
That's a loaded question.
That's why I asked it.
I'm sorry. I hate to laugh, but
into it. I think I have to meet the right woman. You know what I mean? Like, I sometimes you as a person, you are an enabler. You know what I mean? Like, you meet somebody that you want to try to help or make better. And I think I'm kind of done with that. I want someone to say, you know what, you're this person, I'm this person. Let's put it together and let's build. Not something that I have to pull you. You know what I mean? I'm done with pulling someone. You know what I mean? So
right.
I want somebody that's going to bring something to the table.
You know what you want.
Yeah,
they know what they want.
I think I've been for a while because I'm kind of picky. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go anymore. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, I don't want to
Absolutely.
I want to find someone that's going to, you know what I mean, that's not going to want to argue every moment, that we're just going to enjoy life. My life partner. Get what I'm saying? So I want somebody that go on vacation, we can have a good time, not just come home where you feel it's volatile. You know what I mean? Like, you come home, you're like, fuck,
it's a routine.
Well, you don't want to come home. And I was a workaholic, right? So it's not that I didn't want to go home, because I wanted to go home to see my kids, right? But it's not, I didn't want to go home because I knew it was going to turn into an argument. You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want to go home, because it's not that I didn't want to see her, but I know it's just when I got home, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God.
Always something.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Come on, your day, let's discuss it. You know what I mean? Discuss what's going on with the kids, and let's sit down, have dinner, whatever the case may be. I learned a lot going through a divorce, going through a separation, going through, being married for so long. I'm not perfect, and I don't think anybody's perfect. I have flaws. Um, and I know my flaws. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, we're talking about social media. I have a hard time before social media. I had a hard time turning off. You know what I mean? When I come home, I don't turn off. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Right.
I'm looking, oh, how do I make money here? How do I make money there? You know what I mean? Like,
The same way.
you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
my mind is okay. Okay, if I do this, you know what I mean? And people are constantly calling me or whatever the case may be. Hey, what's going on with this? Whatever. So
Right.
I have a hard time turning off. And I admit from my marriage to my kids, but I've learned a lot. And sometimes when you have siblings or your sister say, you know what, put your phone away. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? I guess, you know what, maybe she's right. You know what I mean? Like, so I've learned a lot, and try to be a better father, try to be a better partner, try to be a better husband. So, but I want somebody that's going to, you know what I mean? That's going to make it better. You know what I mean? That's going to fit you.
Compliment you.
Yeah. So
Right.
that question, yeah, I would love to get married again. But will it happen? I don't know. You know what I mean? So
Right.
there's a lot of that. You know what I mean?
And you know what? And like you said, Drake, to me the other day, I mean, people are gonna know now, but whether they care or not, I talked to you about it before I talked to, really anybody. And, first thing you said was, because like you said, you've been there for a relationship, and I had a relationship that a lot of people were like, they thought we were gonna die together. You know what I mean? And I thought the same. And, it hurts still. It's very, it's something I'm still not going to get over. It's going to take a long time to get over. I'm always going to care about her. I'm always going to love her. It's my, not just because that's my, my kid's mother. I'm just that I care about her. I thought she was the one. Things happen. And like you mentioned the other day, you never know, I mean, you might need that separation. Might get back together, you might not. You might find someone else. But like I told her, I praised her. I said, you're the one that okay, and I'm putting it out there, whatever. It's okay, it might help somebody else in the long run, but understand themselves or whatever. But I was like, I commend you for having the gall to to do what you wanted to do and walk away. And I respect that. I respect you as a woman. I'm always going to be there for you no matter what. And, I mean, that's basically it. I'm always going to be here for you. So, and that's what, like I said, that taught me, that's what a real man should do. Act like a man, no matter what. Don't be bitter. Don't be,
right.
Take it personal. She's trying to better herself, trying to better myself, that, and like I said, as long as we put our kid first, that's really all that matters at the end of the day. So
right.
It's life, man. It's life lessons, man. So
right. Yeah, definitely. So I know we're talking about the Cardi B thing, but I know I sent you guys an article that and we've been kind of beating this to a dead horse, but Dr. Dre's wife saying, "Hey, Dr. Dre's hiding assets." So you mentioned it last time. That's the NWA doctor.
Right.
So is he hiding things? I mean, do you think?
Absolutely. He's definitely hiding things. 24 years of marriage and things happening, and you knew it was going to come out. She's gonna if she don't get what she wants, she gonna spill a couple teas. She gonna spill a little tea, and that's why I feel that $2 million a month is the pressure that she's trying to put on him, because he knows and she knows, and he probably is wondering what else she knows.
Right.
So there's definitely some hiding going on. I mean, I'm not even trying to say he's shady. I'm just saying, how many years of business? Dr. Dre. I don't think it's all out there. Right. I don't think it's all out there. Rule number 1: never tell the whole story.
No. Right.
Being
in a marriage, You know, you do have the regular Joe guy, right? Works 9 to 5, you know, for 40 years or whatever, right? But as an entrepreneur, you know, you sometimes you take shortcuts, or you do this or you do that to get in a better place. And
Mhm.
I think that was my main reason why I'm a divorcee, because I didn't disclose a lot of information just because I didn't want her to use that against me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I said this before, nothing lasts forever, right? So sometimes I didn't share that stuff with my partner. And maybe that's why I'm divorced now. You know what I mean? So um
Right.
so maybe he told her stuff that maybe he shouldn't have told her. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I said, there's some things that I just didn't disclose. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not that I was lying, but I just maybe it's a trust issue. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. You know what I mean? So maybe he didn't tell her. Maybe he didn't tell her, but she knows. You know what I mean? So, you know, like my ex-wife, she probably knew. You know what I mean? Like that even
Right.
tell her. Maybe she overheard a conversation. You know what I mean? Like she assumed. You know, I got this money. You know, buried in the yard. You know what I mean? Like so. That,
Right.
that's you know, I guess that's what happens. And
Big
she
wad in your underwear drawer or something.
$1 million somewhere, and she's giving it to her, and she wants all of it. I mean, did you, as you know, you said you've been in businesses with your husband, or you guys have? Did you guys was he hiding things? Were you hiding things?
He was hiding a lot, and the more I got to know, the more that came out. And there was things that I knew
Were you pissed
I
about it?
wouldn't
You did things,
no, see, well, we owned dispensaries.
right?
Okay. So there was at the time that we owned them, the federal laws were different, certain things were different. There it
Right.
is what it is. We had to take a couple shortcuts to get to certain things that might not have agreed with, you know, one group of people, but the other group of people are saying that this is okay. And so there was that. But then there were some things that I found out afterwards. And sometimes I didn't find them out until there was legal charges being brought, or I'm seeing a lawyer retainer fee, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
Sorry, mad at the time. Yeah, because I wasn't told. I'm more of a let me know what I'm looking at kind of person. You know, what do I got to do? Should I change clothes? How many dead bodies are there? What's going on? Like,
Right.
let me
Let
know
me
what I'm facing.
know. Right.
Let me know what I'm facing. At that point, I stay cool and calm. But when I start seeing things happening that I have no clue what's happening, and I see
No
a
control
retainer,
over. Right.
right? I'm seeing that the lawyers made 80 G's off of you in the past year. What's going on here?
Wow.
You can tell me what are we going to disclose this? We're going to share what's happening here, or am I just going to wait until I'm subpoenaed? Like what? You know.
That makes you think what else is going on. Like, wow, you know, I mean, like,
Oh, and then it
then
just snowballed.
trust issue becomes.
It went from partnership to survivalship, really.
Right.
And at that point, we had so many assets that were together. On top of the fact, I was living a whole nother lifestyle of caring for our special needs child.
Right.
And doing that whole thing. So, you know, here I am thinking financially stable, we're good, you know, businesses are rolling, I got this going, and then, you know, you got your kids, you're separate worlds. And then when stuff happens and you're blindsided, you become bitter. You know, I helped build this world, and now you're hiding things from me. Not only you're hiding things from me, you're trying to tell me that half of this world that I helped create isn't mine. Let's go. We going round and round. Let's go round and round. Let's do this. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. So yeah, I can see, you know, I know there's some things being hidden. I know there's some things. There are too many years together and too many things that weren't, you know, you look at all these stars and all these celebrities and the years and the track records and the news stuff that popped up. Dr. Dre hasn't really had a lot of headlines in the sense of scandals. And I'm not saying, oh, he's perfect, but there's some things. A lot of people do that just to keep their, you know, their image looking decent in the limelight. And, you know, I'm sure she's taken a few L's.
Well, I mean, as a marriage couple, just even a regular guy, you know what I mean? Some things you don't want to do or say, you know, you don't want to get in arguments. I mean, as simple as like, you know, I want to get this gun, but I don't want my wife to know you go purchase it. You know what I mean? Like, so some
an Amazon purchase
level, you know, like, you know, there's constantly, you know, even my parents, I hear, you know, honey, why did you buy that? Oh, I didn't want you to know. I'm sorry. But you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And, or I didn't tell you that I spent this X amount of dollars. You know, you forgot to take it out of the checkbook or whatever the case may be. On a more of a lower level. But I'm saying, you know, those are some of the things that I think couples sometimes have problems with or challenges because, you know, one person might be a tremendous spender and the other person is a saver, and you guys get into it because did you really need it? You know, whatever. So those are some arguments that you have. Oh, you forgot to tell me that you forgot to pay the car payment and now we're short. Whatever the case may be. So, you know, so that's, you know, those things happen. But, you know, I think when you start hiding assets, families, you know what I mean? You're hiding a whole family or something like that.
A whole ass family.
Damn.
I get, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
It looks like Cardi, she just said that she just got tired of arguing, and I get
it. Good for her. I get it.
Yep,
I think that resonates more with me than the whole infidelity thing. I'm like, you know what, girl? I hear you.
So,
and that's what being
married for several years. I mean, did you guys ever hide things from each other, or just on a simple?
Who, me and my wife? No, we never hid nothing, man. We didn't really. To be honest with you, I mean, we worked. We were the 9 to 5. You know, my wife, she worked. In the beginning, she worked like 3 jobs. You know, she was doing, you know, doing Scentsy, and like she was hustling. She was busting her ass. Right. And you know, I was working at, you know, I was there for like 10 years at my job at the time, and you know, we were just trying to live a normal life, man. You know, and build off of that, and you know, enjoy ourselves when we could with good friends and everything, family, and stuff like that. But no, like I said, I just, you know, I wanted to live the simple life. I didn't really get into, you know, once I got about 30 or something, I was like, I you know, started getting bored. I was like, and I used to always tell you, like, you know, God, I wish I was not you, but I wish that I would have just tried things when I was younger and just not, you know, just sat back and wanted to be, you know, just work. Now that I had a mentality, you know, I'm 40 years old and I'm like I said, I'm doing the marketing. I'm doing, you know, finally doing the podcast thanks to you and for pushing me a lot more. And, you know, now I'm like, I got my hands in, I got other things that I'm down the road that I plan on working on and everything like that. And, so, you know, like I said, I wish if I'd have thought like that earlier, I might still be married. I don't know, you know.
Everything happens for a reason, though.
And I believe that.
It's all part of the learning process. Yep. It's just another step, chapters of your life. And so if you you either live it or you learn from it in both ways. Neither way is a loss. So.
Yep, and I believe that 110% for sure. You know, everything does happen for a reason. And, you know, like I got on my Facebook thing. I was like, work hard and leave the rest in God's hands. I mean. That's what I kind of say. So, but yeah, no, we didn't have nothing to hide. Maybe, you know, maybe some food or something, some like some baked goods, I don't know, leftovers or something
like that. Don't eat my leftovers.
No, we weren't hiding nothing, man. We was totally honest with each other. There was no for the record, there was no infidelity during my marriage.
That's good.
None of that, you know, none of that. I knew what I had, and I just, you know, everything happens for a reason. So
I'm the bad
guy. You're bad guy.
No, hey, I mean.
Hey, it is what it is. I feel like that 16-year marriage really was a life lesson. And now I feel like there's days where I look back and I think, God, he really did teach me a lesson, or something will happen and I'm like, oh no, I know that you ain't pulling that on me, because I've seen this before. Like, or I meet people and I think, yeah, one day I'm gonna be married again and I'm gonna have a new husband, and then I go out on a couple dates and I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, no, like stay single. Being single is so peaceful and amazing, and like drama free. It's just great. Every day I'm happy.
Come and go as you please and everything. And like, and you know what?
Nobody's questioning you on shit.
and just, you know, if I could touch on, like, you know, we grew up, like, you know, and I could say me, you know, my cousin came back down in 94 or whatever, and we started promoting and DJing like crazy, and for like 7-8 years. Like, I partied so much. Like, I used to tell some friends, you know, they're like, "Oh, come you don't want to hang out, man?" And I was like 28 at the time or something. And I was like, "Bro, I partied more in one summer more than you probably did in like 5 years, bro." I'm done. Like, you know, once I got married and once my daughter was born, I just became a full blown homeboy. I just, you know, and married man after I got married. I like relaxing at home, watching movies, doing whatever it is. You go to this dispensary or whatever, you know. And I just, you know, certain people have different life, you know, they have a different life. They like to go out. They like to, you know, I completely stopped. I was like, I didn't go nowhere unless it was a family event or we went out for New Year's Eve with some good friends, and that's just the way it was. So the temptation was very limited because it's out there, and it depends.
It's out there. It's definitely out there.
How your life is, you know, your lifestyle is. So it was easy for me.
Relationship conversation or dating conversation. It's funny. I had a conversation the other day. Actually, I have tons of conversations with different females. You know what I mean? And they said they brought up hair on a body, right? So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I said, you know what? I got to be honest with you. I got to be honest. And I was like, this is what I like when on a female, right? So I was like, you know, I definitely don't like hair on her legs. I said, but I said down by the vagina.
Oh boy.
I don't know why. I'm just being honest. I said I like some hair, and I'm not talking about a 70s butch, right?
Madonna, 1984.
70s butch, right? I'm
cover of.
I said, here's my word. I use it all the time: an upside down triangle. And I'm not talking about the lips or anything. I said I like some fucking hair. You know what I mean? Like, bald, right? If it's bald, I feel like she's a girl.
Oh my god.
Child. And they're like, and I hear these different.
I get what you're saying.
Like, you know, that's the new thing. You know what I mean? Like, girls are bald, and I'm like, I just have a fucking problem with the bald.
Yeah, it's kind of
Like, I don't know. I'm gonna be 47 in a couple weeks. No, I just don't like the bald thing. I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts, Alex? What you like that?
No, I don't. I'm just gonna say no, I don't.
No, you don't. What? You like it bald, or you like
that? No, I don't. I'm not too fond of the. I'm not too you know, intrigued with the Telly Savalas. I don't like the bald, you know, but I mean, it's their body, man. It's their body. I don't, you know what I mean? I really do, but no, I'm with you on that. I
think it's the, you know what I mean? And then what was it in the 90s? It was the strip. You know what I mean? Like it's progressive, right? So as a woman, you feel like this has got to be shaved so I feel clean. Like a woman told me she's like, I feel more clean. I'm not talking about like you got a fucking 70s bush hair from your fucking back all the way up to your chest. I'm not talking about
turn down a bad road.
That nowadays women says they have to be bald.
So personally, I am bald. Okay. I prefer it like that. I feel, yes, cleanly wise, I feel that it's definitely, you definitely feel cleaner. I'm a clean freak in that sense. I don't like any of that. Huh?
I want to pull on that motherfucker.
No,
This
don't.
guy, oh my
And
God.
that's even more reason why I will always shave. Has anybody ever pulled on it?
It's like I don't want nothing getting tangled up in there.
You know?
Okay,
Just
several reasons. Like, okay,
You know what I mean? Like, I think somebody made a joke about that before. They're like, you don't want no kind of solid like fucking sandpaper.
oh my God.
there's several reasons. Okay, so when you let to start to grow back, especially in the summertime, it'll poke through your bathing suit. Like, that's gross. I don't want any little pokies through my bathing suit or through my underwear. That's, I don't know. I just don't like
There's
it.
reasons.
I mean,
I feel like the hair also creates sweat, not a lot, but like if you're active or you work out or you're just in general, I don't know. It just, even just a little bit. Hair is meant to catch oils. So whether it's on this head or it's on somewhere else, it's still going to do the same job. But I don't know. I like it soft. I don't like some
juice or some shit like that.
What's that?
The sweeter the berry, the sweeter the juice. I don't know.
Yeah, what's hair have to do with that?
Right.
I'm clean, so I don't know about that musty, hairy
I'm not talking
thing.
about, but you know, I don't know. I think that for me, it makes the determination from a woman to a girl. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Well, when I bust it open, that'll make the determination.
But I thought it was a funny conversation. I wanted to bring it up. So,
I feel like that conversation goes along with women who there's two types of women, ones that wear underwear and ones that do not. And I don't know if you've come across these women, but there's some that don't ever wear underwear, not even a thong.
Right.
I'm not one of those women. I like a thong. I have to wear one. I feel like the compression, I just like it feminine. Without, I feel like,
so is this
like
let me ask you real quick. So no underwears, is it, you know what I mean? Like, I have daughters and I was married and I'm with women. You get a yeast infection if you don't have underwear.
It grosses me out. I mean, that's for me personally. And I have friends who don't wear underwear. We have mutual friends who don't wear underwear. They swear by it. They say they never have no problems or this. Personally for me, and this might be a little too graphic. So me personally, I feel like if you're wearing leggings or you're wearing pants, that seam is going to catch on your vagina lips. Even if your vagina is nice and tucked and pretty and all away, like, you know, it's still going to, I'm not trying to have no extra stuff touching it. God. I don't know.
Like to be free.
So no, they swear by no yeast infection.
They swear no.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not willing to try it out.
I thought you would give.
Hey, I'm with you on that. I feel like maybe that could happen.
I have a gay buddy, and we talk. You know what I mean? I want to know what the fuck's going on with gays, right? So my
brother's gay. My brother's gay.
I'm totally for you. You know what I mean? So I ask questions. I'm always probing the motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Always.
Most gay guys, I gotta be honest with you, I love the fuck out of them, right? Most of them are whores, right? That's what they tell me.
Super horror.
You know what I mean? They're fucking.
The stories I could tell. We could have a whole nother episode on this.
Yeah. Because they told me that, what the guy told me is that because there's emotions, there's feelings and stuff, and there's affection. So, you know, when you do have sex with a woman, there's a little more, it's deeper, right? But with a man, it's not. There's no feelings involved, and they can sleep with many guys as possible because they don't have that connection or whatever the case may be. And I don't know. That's what he told me, right? So he swears by no underwears, and I'm like, dude, doesn't that fucking make your balls like itch? I would freak the fuck out if, you know what I mean? If I had no fucking chonies on, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a chony guy.
Right.
You know, I have chonies.
Yeah. No, my brother, he always wears underwear. He makes sure that they're like the most stylish, and gay guys like the ones that he gets the ones that have like a thing that like cups his balls and his penis. He shows me them. I'm like, oh, those are nice. Like he'll show me before he's ordering them, right? And I'm like, those are fancy. Like I would just walk around just in those because they really they go all out with their shit. But gay guys,
there's so many types of underwear now, and I'm like, wow, I stick to the boxers and the hang Fruit of or Calvin Kleins and stuff, of course.
That they're old school and they got like patterns on. I hate those because they suck. I like the brief boxers, but
for sure.
And then I feel like the brief boxers, okay, and this would be just like with the regular boxers or the brief boxers. Do you feel that with the brief boxers, they wick away moisture more?
I don't. I like the cotton, or I don't know if that's cotton or not, but I don't like those ones that like the grandpa ones. You know what I mean? Those.
Yeah, they're like silky polyester.
Right. Well, see, look, I bought the brief boxers when I was working in certain plants, and now they have like the cool, flex, whatever they're called. They're supposedly keep your body cooler. So I bought those. Of course, they're a lot more, but they're definitely comfortable. And I couldn't wear like boxer briefs in the wintertime. I'm not a nasty sweater, but I do tend to sweat and stuff like that. I get irritated about little things like I can't wear watches, nothing like that. Rings, jewelry in the summertime, it just irritates me. But that's that's me. So, but yeah, other than that, I just like to be comfortable. I like to be nice and comfortable.
Secret about me, I sweat a lot on my head, right? And the rest of my body, I don't sweat. And the reason why is when I was 18 months, I had a tumor. My sweat gland. So I don't need to wear deodorant for days because I don't sweat. You know what I mean? So that's it's positive, but at the same time, it's like Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? I don't sweat, but like my fucking head, I sweat like, you know what I mean? Like crazy.
Right.
My body, it doesn't sweat. It's because that's
right. Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way. That's what I mean. Like but.
I'm not a big. I don't sweat a lot.
Not to have that body. I'm not. I got to be honest with you. I think that's the biggest turnoff from a guy or a girl. If I go by a guy and he's got some body.
I dated a guy, and he used to wake up sweaty, and it.
Oh my God.
Out like. And this is really the first time I'm really talking about it publicly, but since we're talking about it, let's talk about it. So, and he was great. He showered, he smelled good all the time, but it was in the morning we would wake up, and I'm a cuddler. I like to cuddle. I let off a lot of heat, even though I don't sweat. I'm like a little inferno. But even if we're not cuddling and we're kind of just touching a little bit, it's okay. But I couldn't even touch him because he just had literally he just played a fucking football game when he woke up. And it's like, why are you so stinky in the morning? I don't understand. Like we didn't even have sex last night. You weren't exerted. There was nothing happening. Why are you so funky? Now you funked up my sheets. So, and he probably thought I was just a neat freak constantly because literally I would change the sheets. Maybe you
just turned them on that much. You never know.
That's disgusting.
That imprint in the morning.
Them hot.
Yeah, that's gross. One thing I'll never go back to. Red flag. Ugh.
Well, sometimes I see people that if they're big sweaters, they're sweating on top of their lip, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Sorry, I wasn't ready for that.
No, I'm not talking about down there. I'm talking about their upper lip.
I'm both gross.
Right.
I just lost my shit. I'm such a visual person, and I saw all of that. Thanks.
The moisture.
Wait, wipe that up. Don't talk to me until you wipe that up.
So since we're talking about females and male relationships. So I posted about the transsexual Satanist that won the Republican nomination for the sheriff.
This sounds crazy.
So crazy. It's so crazy.
I mean, what is your guys' thoughts on that? I thought that was kind of crazy, but I'm like, hey, you know what? Like I said, I have nothing against, there's a lot of people that are homophobes and just crazy stuff, right? And for me, it's like, look, dude, if you want to date a gay, date a guy, or if you're a girl and you want to do, that's up to you. That's your preference. I don't have to fucking sleep with you, right? I'm not sleeping with you, whatever you want to do. But that's kind of crazy, right? Especially being a Republican, like so conservative, but we're gonna vote you in and get your nomination for a sheriff job.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even have no comment on that. That's just straight up weird. But Leah, the gay thing and all that, whatever, I had no problems with that too. Like I said, my ex-wife, she had a lot of, she knew some gay people. I know some gay people. Got no problem with none of that.
Where does the Satanist thing come into play,
when you start talking about stuff like that, I'm good. I'm out. Count me out. I don't even want to hear that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to.
I'm a Catholic boy. I grew up a Catholic boy.
So regardless, I'm not trying to hear none of that.
Right.
Sometimes I have to look at stuff because you got Caitlyn Jenner, right? That is a man that still has a penis, right? Still has a cock, but he has tits. So I always confuse myself with, okay, a transsexual or TS still has a cock, right? A transvestite is that, you know what I mean? Like, I get so confused with some of these. Right. Maybe they're not like the new word, transsexual, transvestite, cross-dresser. You got so many different things that people, say, you know what I mean? And then I looked up because I was like, okay, so a transsexual is a hermaphrodite, right? And then I Googled it and it said
it's not.
That is kind of like saying fag to a transsexual. So you know what I mean? Like I didn't.
Right.
Like, when
it's a thin line.
Yeah, when I watch like 80 porn or whatever, right? Hermaphrodite is a girl that has a cock, right? So I guess you're not supposed to say hermaphrodite anymore. Now it's so you know what I mean? So what the it's so confusing now.
No, I don't know.
What the difference is?
It's all confusing. I feel like it all changes as soon as you feel comfortable about, directing something towards a certain specific person and how they, associate, then it gets switched up on us.
Right, for sure.
Bottom line, love who the fuck you want to love. That's how I feel. Like,
just show respect, be kind, man. Don't matter.
I grew up Catholic. I consider myself Christian. I follow the laws of the universe as well, and I believe in God. So, I think each person, the way that they were raised or how they have been taught or what has been sprinkled on them their whole life is kind of how, they look at things now. Some people try to say that they're not born that way. I definitely know that you are born a certain way and you can't deny certain feelings you have. Like I said, I have, I call him my brother, but he's really my cousin. But Italians, they grow up, your cousin is your best friend, and it's your brother or sister, right? So he's gay. I have several gay family members in my family. But back to him, I knew at a very young age when he asked me, oh, I want to try on your shoes, or he brushed my hair like yours, or here, let me show you how to use that curling iron. I'm like, oh, okay. And it never, I never knew any different of him. I mean, for as long as we can remember, he was flamboyant. He liked certain things. Now, tomboy, he could whoop everybody on the basketball court. He would beat anybody in a fight. He would beat anybody in a race barefoot down the middle of grass shit. Like, he didn't care. Okay. And he held his own, but he always had this feminine feel to him, when we were kids, and he could be himself around us. Growing up, he'd spend the night at our house. We were inseparable. And as he got older and when he came out, in his teens, some people were so shocked. And I was thinking, Where the fuck have you guys been for the past 16 years?
Right.
He's clearly been gay since I can remember, since he was 4.
It just, a lot of people didn't want to believe it or whatever.
They didn't want to believe it.
Reason,
so when people say, "Oh, you choose that," people choose to be gay. No, I don't believe it, because my close family member, who, is a sibling to me, has been, this is him his whole life, and he's conformed so much to try to make people feel better and more comfortable that it's changed who he is. And I will say this, so we have a lot of younger people in our family, right? Younger, who look up to him and they think he's the coolest. He's actually one of he's the godfather to my oldest son, and he knows how the nieces and nephews and cousins look up to him. They think, they're like, "Oh, Uncle Rick, he's the coolest." And he has said it to me before. I don't want them to think because Uncle Rick's gay that it's cool to be gay, because I want you to be who you are. So even growing up, and when he's had boyfriends or, partners, and they've lived together, they never did public displays of affection in front of the nieces and nephews. He always said, "This was my roommate." He never wanted them to feel, "Oh, well, Uncle Rick's cool as fuck, let me be cool as fuck too," and he let them choose. And so I really appreciated that growing up with him, to see him say,
That's
"Hey,
awesome.
I know I'm a cool ass uncle, but let you choose who the fuck you want to be. Like, don't
lead by example."
Yeah, and he always did. He never did, adults and stuff, that was one thing, but the kids, he just wanted to make sure that they didn't think he was cool just because he chose to,
he wanted to portray it in a way that, like, it's okay, but at the same time, you can still be respectful, and you can be who you are, and just, don't make it a mockery of it or yourself. But that's awesome. And
he's funny like that.
Like a great person. That's awesome.
I would crack up too, because we always had this one friend who clearly was a homophobe, but grew up with us, right? So it was kind of like a joke. He'd make little jokes here and there and digs at him. But one day he said something to him and it was inappropriate. And he was sitting at the table, the other guy, and my brother walked up behind him and took his hand and ran it through his hand through his, like, sexually over his head. And motherfucker never made another comment again about my brother.
That was
look
great.
at his face.
That was shut his ass up.
Like, shut him right down. And I'll never forget that. He's like, don't forget about it.
Like, if that's what you think what it is, okay,
I'm gonna show you. You don't want.
Wow.
Don't pick up the soap.
Right.
I grew up a Catholic. I was an altar boy. I went through pietism.
Excuse me, one quick second.
To 8. So, we didn't know as a kid, you know what I mean? Like, you've seen it in movies and stuff like that. But, I firmly believe, like you said, you're born gay. I don't think you change or you meet somebody or, and sometimes, if you are, God forbid, you're molested as a child, maybe that fucks with your psyche a little bit. But you're gay, you were born gay, right? Because I seen an episode, like a series or a documentary that this, not priest, but a pastor or whatever was trying to say, "No, you're not born that way. Whatever. Let's try to get God to get you." Try to force. You know what I mean? So, and he says that he was able to change so many gay guys back to straight or whatever, but it's all. You know what I mean? Like, it's all bullshit. I think if you're gay, there's men that, try to, because of society, deemed it so bad long time ago. That's why in Hollywood, if you were gay, 60s to 70s, you were, blackballed because they, guys that were gay, they kept it in the closet, right? But now it's accepted. So I think a lot of, like I said, I knew a lot of gay guys that had a girlfriend, got married, got a kid, and then eventually said, "Hey, I'm gay. I don't want to have sex with you anymore because I wanted a family, but I didn't, didn't know how to get in touch with my feelings." So, I think if you were gay, you're probably, I see you're born as a gay guy, and as we were talking about, like, guys and transsexual, I dated, this whole new thing, and all these different terms and stuff. So I've dated a girl that was pansexual, and I had to look it up. Right? What the fuck is a pansexual? I don't know. And she's like a pan. I don't know. So
does she like pans?
I just like I said, just too fucking old. I don't know. You know what a pansexual is?
No, I don't.
Sorry, can we
I mean, I don't mean to say like that, but no,
okay,
I'm
so
clueless.
Pansexual is when you like objects too, right?
So, well, what I read was basically
I know it's more than that.
You can like guys, or if you're a female, you can like guys or girls, and you got to love everything, right? So it's kind of confusing because maybe we can get a pansexual on here or something on the show, but what I said is you love everything, all creatures. That's what I read. You love all creatures.
Oh boy.
So, confusing. Did you like?
Maybe I'm pansexual. I like all creatures.
But in what way? That's the difference.
Yeah, I don't want to have sex with like animals.
Okay.
Right.
That's what I read, and I don't know. I'm saying that they're having. I don't think it's that, but
like me personally, I'm attracted to character. So when people are like, "Oh, what's your type?" I don't really have a type. I like character in a man or a woman.
Right.
But that's me. So I'm.
Right.
I don't know.
Pansexual then.
I think so. I think I just discovered this.
Dang.
Discovered it. Congratulations.
Like I don't want to like I'm not like attracted to like my coffee table or like items like that, but like male or female. And if you're a female, then I want you to be a female. And if you're a male, I want you to be a male. I'm not attracted to like females who dress like, well, some females that look like males. Let me retract that. Some females that look like males, they could get it because some of them are really fine, but I need to know up front. Like there's no like hiding it like, oops, surprise, look what I am. No, I want to know. No surprises.
No surprise. So Louis Vuitton came up with a mask. We're in COVID, right? $1,000. What's your it seems pretty cool to have a Louis Vuitton face mask, but $1,000? I mean,
I know. I wouldn't purchase it. I'd have somebody buy it for me.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of a little extra.
A little extra?
A little extra.
It's cloth? I mean, cotton?
It's probably leather. Is it leather?
I don't know.
They had face shields, LV. They're called LV shields, and around the shield, it's Louis Vuitton, a leather, like a leather lining
trim.
Right.
We're talking about leather, plastic, for $1,000.
Well, you know what? I read the article and it said the eye-catching headpiece, both stylish and protective. It said, but if the brand Louis Vuitton really wants to kick their luxury offerings up a notch, PPE offerings up a notch, maybe they should also consider consulting the Indian man who made a $4,000 solid gold face mask for their spring/summer 2021 line. So I don't know. Knowing them, they'll probably follow up on that. But yeah, it's Louis Vuitton, man. It's the name,
Yeah.
I'll take a Nike one for $100. I don't know.
I don't know if
I think it's pointless. You can get a good one. It's pointless.
That's crazy.
There's a lady down the street sells them for $10. I don't know.
Okay. I got one down the street right here, $10, and you can get some tamales.
Yeah.
Tamale lady have a whole basket full, and they're good quality.
I read the article of 19 black families buy 97 acres in Georgia city, safe for black people. I know what's going on, every crazy thing that's going on, police brutality, just crazy stuff. So they said that they wanted to have a safe zone for black people, and they wanted to have their own community, no whites, you know what I mean? So what's your thoughts on it? I think, and I'm not trying to make it political. I'm just thinking, I understand what they want, right? they don't want any white people. They don't want any other races. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that being racist? I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I think that's a great idea, but I think it just caused it once again. It's dividing people. I don't know.
Right, right. No, I kind of agree with you with that. Like, I mean, like, how much land, how many acres can you actually buy to support something like that? Yeah, it divides people, man. I mean, that's basically all I can say about it. It's just, we're supposed to be coming together, and you understand, like, you want to stick up for your race and all that, everything what's going on, try to be positive. I think some people overthink stuff, something like an idea like this. I think it's ridiculous, to be honest with you. And they ain't say nothing towards, anybody, African Americans, nothing. I have a lot of friends that are black, and but yeah, I mean, it just divides people, man. It's as simple as that in my opinion. So that's really all I got to say on it. But I don't know. What do you think, Tori?
I kind of see it from both angles. I feel like, yes, it is dividing people. I feel that, you could look at it and say, well, whites aren't allowed, no other race is allowed, that's racist. Then you can look at all the other races that have been doing it for years. I mean, Indians live on reservations, white people communities shun any type of brown family out. They make sure they're not welcome. They let them know. They will knock on your door. They let the real estate agent know. You got the Amish people who live their own little life. We got Mexican. I mean, you go to Southwest Detroit, you better know somebody.
Right.
You don't just go down there to just go. Like, Dearborn, you have there's division everywhere. So Islamic, you have the Islamic, and you have certain areas where it's just Chaldean, and Hamtramck is Polish. So, yes, in the sense of dividing, yes, with everything going on, you could say this is racist. But you could also say that it's a safe haven for somebody or people that don't have that sense of community. You can look at it both ways. I feel like it's a very fine line. I think also the media has portrayed like this is just going to be a black city with locks on the gates and nobody's allowed. I really like to see what they're going to do. Are they going to have a community center? Are they going to be doing, what kind of things are they going to be doing for the community? If this is going to be a positive, outlook for African Americans to be able to go to and learn, or their children, or just to set an example, then right. Let's see where it goes. I feel that, different races have been doing this for a very long time, and I don't know. It could be positive. I definitely feel it could be positive. I feel that if mainstream media gets a hold of it, and there's certain, there's going to be people that are going to say negative about it, but then you got to look at their lifestyle too, and how many black people they have living around them. Right. Probably none. Right. Probably none.
So we'll stay on that thing, and kind of the police brutality. I know you wanted to talk about this. Matt Stafford from the Lions speak out against white privilege. I'm going to give that to you, Alex. I know you brought it up and you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, no, it was just something I had actually seen on the news yesterday, and I was just like, I wasn't like shocked by it or nothing like that. And the thing I liked about it is because, Matt Stafford had talked about, I think it was their very first practice. Might have been the last one. Either way, one of their practices, and he said that was his best time as being a Detroit Lion, was because they all stood together. Right. They showed support. They cried. And that was like he said, that was his best time as a Lion. And he was just saying it's real, man. And he was talking about being white privileged, and police brutality, white privilege, racism. It's all real. And he just said football is one thing and all that, but you can't just sit back and ignore this because it's a real thing. And I just thought that was very classy of him once again. I know he gets criticized a lot on the football field, but off the football field, guys, he contributes a lot to the community, him and his wife. And for him to speak up and actually be a leader that people don't think he is on the football field, these types of things are obviously more important, because they affect everybody, community, whatever. And I just thought that was really cool of him to speak up. And he and the reason, and one of the reasons he actually spoke up was because of one of his former teammates, Trey Flowers, last year had got pulled over for a simple traffic stop, and he dealt with something, and the Stafford he brought that to everybody's attention. So, I just thought that was very classy of him, and a good move, man.
Well, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Steve Nash is hiring to the Brooklyn Nets. They interviewed about a week ago on Inside NBA, and Charles Barkley asked him, "Is white privilege real?" And he says, "Yes, it is. It's real." And he's not saying, hey, you know what, I didn't deserve this job, but he goes, in this country, it's real. And I hate to say that, and you know what I mean, like, do I see it? Yeah, I do it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like as Hispanic, I mean, I'm a light-skinned Mexican guy, right? So and you have Mexicans that are racist against Mexicans because they're darker, or you know what I mean? Like you have black
don't speak fluent Spanish, right?
They're light skinned, you know what I mean? So I see it, right? That they always say, oh, it's the man. I see it. Yeah, I get it. Is it ever going to go away? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, right. People talk about it, but like racism probably will never go away until people really realize, hey, this is just bad. But yeah, I get it. He's a great quarterback that has been in Detroit, and you want to acknowledge that. So just crazy that he had to come out and say that. So I know we're talking about football, but I watched the Cowboys game, and
she laughed.
He's looking at all his players. One guy gets on his knee. One guy, the rest of the team is not. You think that he had a talk with the coach, or you think he had a talk with the players and said, "Whoever kneels, I'm not gonna be favored to it"? Because he really mad dog that one black guy that kneeled. And on the other side, I think they were playing the I want to say the Rams. I can't remember who they played, but like it was like 8 players that kneeled. So because they're the Cowboys, that he says, look, whoever fucking kneels, I'm gonna fucking not. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna kind of discipline you. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts? I know we're gonna be talking.
Are you talking about Jerry Jones?
Yeah, from the Dallas Cowboys. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean, I don't. I think you've seen it in their facial expressions. I mean, they ain't gonna tell nobody what they're gonna do. They're just gonna do it. So there's a lot of preparation, everything that goes on before the games, and ain't nobody stopping to say, oh, I'm not gonna take a knee. I'm gonna take a knee or whatever. So, yeah, I didn't catch that. I did tune into the game,
right?
And but yeah, I mean, and not to switch off of what you're bringing up. But though I just wanted, before I forget, the one thing that I kind of took away from the game was Dallas Cowboys, quarterback Dak Prescott. He finally spoke out about his brother and committing suicide. And I thought that was like, I went to, it just made me think, dealing with my loss of my father last year, my separation, my divorce. You guys kind of mentioned it, Ronaldo, and I don't know if you did, sorry, but Ronaldo kind of mentioned about how he was doing therapy after his divorce. Mm-hmm. That was one thing I didn't mention, and I wish that I did, but I still do therapy over the phone, via Zoom. Sometimes it just
so do I, every Thursday.
And that I actually got a call about a week and a half ago, and my I don't know what you would call her, advisor or whatever. She told me, she just wanted to check in on me. Awesome woman, really helped me a lot, and I told her, I said, I feel like I'm done. I can be done with this. And I thought about it a little bit afterwards. And then when I seen, him speak on that, and like I said, just once again I hate to keep beating it like a dead horse too, the divorce and everything, but it affects everybody differently, everything. And like I said, loss of my father, I'll never get over it. Just learn how to deal with it every day. So, when I heard him speak on it, I was like, you know what? I changed my mind. I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to stick with therapy. And even though like she said, it's up to the director to like actually, stop it or whatever. And she was like, even though I feel like, you should be able, if you feel like you don't need it no more, you should be able to just, just stop it at your own, convenience. But it just made me think, and I was like, what, I'm gonna continue on with it because I just feel like I still could use it, so.
Me and my son actually were talking about him, and my son was explaining to me about how he's a quarterback, right? How he wanted a certain amount of money, and how this media was making him look a certain way, and he was like he was being greedy, and you got running backs that are making more and all this stuff, and then they go ahead and they release the talks about his brother, and don't quote me because I don't know their names, but me and my son, we were talking, and there was a guy who made a comment about it. Literally, what was it? A derogatory comment about him. And it was like the day of suicide awareness. Like, what the fuck? Really? And just and how the media prior was trying to make him look like he was a bad person because he hosted a dinner the beginning of COVID for his immediate family and certain things. And, it kind of all plays into everything that we were just talking about. One, it talks about white privilege, when you're talking about the amount that he's trying to get, and he's comparing himself to the other people, and he's the only black, the person that, quarterback that's not getting what he should be getting, on top of the fact where you have people who are literally, media and mainstream people bullying him when you don't know what somebody is going through. Whether he has millions of dollars in a contract or he's just one of the regular, a regular person, you don't know what somebody mentally is going through or what their family member is. And so I, commend him for coming out and speaking on his brother's suicide, especially around suicide prevention and spreading the word. And we've been programmed from such a young age, and I've learned this through therapy, that therapy, mental health is such a stigmatism. Like it's a stigma that it's not good for you, that you're weak. And it's really, people need to understand that when you know that you need some mental therapy or help, that's a strength. That's not, it's not a weakness at all. And we've been programmed to think that asking for help is a weakness, when really that's the number one strength that you have, when you can admit that, you may need a little help, or your chemical imbalances, you're just not feeling it today. And you have these things that are happening to you, instead of just, like our grandparents, they just sucked it up. They didn't do therapy. They sucked it up. They went and they worked, and they bottled it in, and then it trickled on over to our parents, and this is how we've been raised. And so I always said, like, I can't be mad at my parents and grandparents for teaching me something they didn't know. But in this day and age, when you start to, you do other forms of therapy, whether it's meditation or talking to somebody or just a podcast or venting, it really is therapeutic, and more people need to understand that it's not a weakness. It's a huge strength for all aspects of life and all the, relationships that you're going to carry out with people. whether it's personal or just in general.
Right.
So
And
good for
like
you for sticking with therapy too.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And you know, like I brought up earlier, you know, I before we started recording, I showed you guys the books, you know, 4 Agreements, and you know, a friend of mine gave me those books, and when I read them, I was like, wow, I wish I would have read these when I was like 15 years old, 16 years old,
Right.
because my whole mentality would have probably been, if not a lot, enough different to like you know, treat others differently, treat myself differently, take better care of myself, and just
your whole
be a better
perspective has
person.
changed.
Right. And yeah, I definitely.
But unless we're shown that, unless we're shown
Right.
that, or we're taught that, then
right.
how do you know?
Like you
know,
said,
so,
yeah, it was growing up. It was tough love. We just got tough love.
Tough love. No.
So,
beat your ass, keep it moving, eat your dinner, sweep it under
yeah.
the rug. We don't talk about it. It already happened.
For sure. And that was Skip Bayless that had said something about Zach Prescott.
That's his name.
And his
Skip,
brother, he said that he went through depression in the early stages of COVID, and you know, pretty much just very disrespectful, if you ask me.
Very disrespectful. Extremely disrespectful. No empathy at all.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely understand. You know, therapy, I got to be honest with you. You know, I was that person that was that stigmatism that said, you know, I don't need it. I'm fucking strong. Fuck that or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And I got to be honest with you. I'm a huge Soprano fan, right? And something about the character Tony going in and talking to his therapist.
Right.
That was, to be honest with you, that made me go to the therapist. Because I'm like, I know it's a fictional character, right?
Right.
You're this mob boss, and you're talking to your therapist because I need help dealing with everyday life, right? Mm-hmm. So I did. I got to be honest with you. When I went to therapy, I cried like a fucking baby because I'm like, you know, I told my, you know, at the time she's a psychiatrist, but you know, I told my psychiatrist, I'm like, what? Should I be here? Like, I'm not a fucking man if I'm here, right? And she's like, no. And I'm like, fuck, I feel like a fucking total failure. But, you know, eventually it was, you know, it took some time, and I was eventually, I need therapy 5 days a week. Fuck.
Okay. And then afterwards you're like, God, I can't wait for Thursday to come. I really need to talk to this chick. What should I do? Did I do the right thing? Just to let it go and release it is just such a great feeling.
And I was very grateful to talk to the 2 ladies that I actually talked to, and you know, I mean, they were like, you can call me whenever you want. Right. You feel like you need to talk about something, and I mean, like, you know, that's their job, but they were genuine with it. They were very genuine, and I was like, you know, like I almost called one of them last week, and I was like, I don't want to bug nobody. I know, you know, but.
I feel that, and if you look at other countries and how they're doing it, you know, they're huge on the mental health aspect. If there's anything, you know, not even to change it and to go politically with it, but if there's any changes, that would be such a great thing for one of the candidates to say, you know what, mental health is free for everybody. You have to have it. When you start a job, when you have a life change, this is something that has to happen for everybody. I mean, most of the incidences that are happening in the world right now are because people aren't honing in on their mental health. And we can go on every topic.
Right. Yeah, just last week, just a few, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, there was another shooting. I forgot where it was at, but either way, there was another shooting, and I was like, geez, another one? I just walked, you know, my daughter was watching, I had the news on, and I was like, geez, you know, I was like, I turned it before I actually came upstairs.
I saw it, yeah. A friend of mine told me in Detroit. Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, you know, I think you know, my family's old school, and we just didn't talk about that stuff, right?
Same.
And then I read the Tony Soprano, and he's like, you know, his mom goes, yeah, he's probably fucking talking about me. So, you know, I would go to this therapist, or I would go to this psychiatrist, and I would hear my mom, he's probably fucking talking about me. You know what I mean? Like,
my mom asked me the same.
And I don't mean to, you know, I love my mom. She's great. You know, she's, you know, empowering Latina. She's been, you know what I mean? She's been working in the community in Southwest Detroit.
So give her. Oh yeah.
She's always been that predominant figure. You know what I mean? So, some insight in my personal life. I had a nanny. You know what I mean? So I grew up with a nanny because my mom was working, my dad was working. So this is prior to everybody, both parents working. Mostly it was the dad or the father that was working, but both of my parents worked as far as I can remember. So I had a nanny. So did I have that abandonment problem? You know what I mean? Is that why I'm going to therapy? So, all this stuff is going,
Right.
you know what I mean? Was my parents not be there for me? Blah, 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 blah. No, I appreciated them. They did what they had to do to put money or to put food on the table, right? It didn't matter, if they both worked or whatever the case may be. But like I said, when I did in the early stages of therapy, I that did went through my mind. I wonder if my mom is going to be like, "What the? Are you talking about me? Are you? You know what I mean? Like, bad mind, or the abandonment thing." So it just, like I said, it is funny when it comes down to it. But I swear, I need therapy 5 days a week. Because I'm fucking crazy in my own fucking head. You know what I mean? So
aren't we all?
That's the whole point of it. A lot of things.
Pick your level of crazy and go with it.
Yeah, it is for a lot of things to go through your mind, and it helps you. It puts things in perspective and in order in your mind, if that makes any sense. At least for me, it did, and it put my priorities in. Like, okay, this is what I need to do then.
Right.
It gives you a different perspective, but it also gives you coping skills,
Right.
Mine was a mixture.
I think that's the biggest thing. It gives you things to put into your toolbox. You know what I mean? To deal with.
Exactly.
That's a perfect analogy. Absolutely. Fill your toolbox.
Yeah. So
to fix your problems.
Staying on football, opening week, I know, we're on the second Thursday past or whatever, but the Lions are SOL, right? The same old Lions.
Ozo ball, we call that now.
They're always looking great in the first couple quarters, and they go, they suck in the last quarter, and then
they drop the ball.
Right, literally, right.
Literally.
They opened up their I was a little surprised that NFL was moving forward, to be honest with you. But I read some articles, and I think I sent it to Alex. They're doing so much precautions because of COVID. I guess some of the players have like these like alarms on each other. And if you come too close to them, it goes off. So I was like, wow, that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, so if they wear this little thing around their neck, and if you come too close to another player, not during the game, it goes off. And I'm like, wow. The NFL is going above and beyond to try to maintain that. Originally, they had all the players in one locker room, of course. I don't know if you know the story. So now they're in two different locker rooms, just players. More space. They put up shields between each player's locker room or whatever.
Right.
So the NFL is going above and beyond to try to contain this, and they want to make sure that the government knows. I didn't know this, and somebody told me, but I thought there was fans in there. So no fans anywhere, right? It's all CGI. They're looking like they're fans. The audio, and I get it. They're trying to be safe. I was totally surprised that the NFL opened up. But what was your thoughts? I know we know the Lions suck and they lost, and hopefully they game 2 again, and we go. Let's say we go, and then we win the next 10. But what was who's your team that you saw? I know you saw the biggest surprise, Tampa Bay. I know you told me you bet a buddy of yours. You bet that said Tampa Bay, between who's gonna win, Tampa Bay or the New Orleans Saints. And that was a good game, but it is what it is. Brady ended up losing. But who was the number one winner that came out? Who was the winner of all the teams, and what was your thoughts on the first week, Alex?
Well, you know what? Before I forget about talking about this. There was a friend of ours actually who went on Facebook and he was talking about he didn't like the the crowd noise, the way NFL was doing it. And I just said, like, well, if I don't, without causing any arguments or anything, whatever your opinion is, that's fine. I was like, well, if I'm watching football and I don't hear a crowd, fake or real, like, I might as well watch darts. I might as well watch darts or something. I mean, even in darts, you hear people in the background, but, it was just kind of, like you said, it was kind of annoying to him. I don't know. And I kind of wanted to talk about that. I told him, I said, thanks for giving me something to talk about on the podcast next week. But, yeah, I mean, it's football, man. I don't understand how hearing a crowd is annoying, like fake or not. It's football. I don't know what if I was you was to go to the game and they told everybody to be quiet, like, I mean, could you do that? Does that make, I didn't understand. No. I didn't understand that, but whatever. Like I said, you're entitled to your opinion, but what do you
I feel like people are just looking for something to complain about. Since when do you go to a football or a sports anything and there's no sound? I mean, right. The quietest sports event you ever go to is tennis, but the tennis players are so loud that you don't need a crowd because they're grunting so loud that you're like, damn.
Right.
You're feeling it.
Even one of my friends said golf.
Golf, exactly. Golf. And they're even now, the Tiger paved the way for everybody to act a fool. So there you go. So it's okay. Like, I don't know. I feel like people are just looking for something to complain about.
Right.
You're not the first person I've heard or of somebody saying that they're complaining about the created sound.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, like, when did that bother you?
Just be grateful it's back.
Exactly. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, be grateful it's back. You're at home. You're pouring your own drinks. You're not paying those prices.
Right.
You're everybody is, you got that stimulated sound. Even like, so my son is huge into watching wrestling, right? And,
me too.
Right. And I was a huge wrestling fan when I was a kid, and then I kind of fell off. And then once he got back into it, I was like, whoa, what does this evolve to? I'm used to, Macho Man and stuff like that. Now I'm spending thousands of dollars and I've got monthly subscriptions and tickets and we've been, to every event and
network, WWE
network. I got it all. Shirts. I got it all. So I watched one of his live pay-per-views the other day and it was weird. They really are trying. They're getting the noise up in there. But you got to think, wrestling, like any other sport, they're performing. And to not have that energy, that crowd, especially after being to so many live events, even football, basketball, all of it, to not feel that you literally, I felt bad for them watching it on TV.
Yeah, I can't imagine how hard that is to do.
I can't imagine how hard it is for you to
and they feed off the crowd, right?
And you feed off of it. I mean, even just standing in a crowd, we feed off of it. So I give them lots of props, trying to stay positive, trying to, give that energy and that 110%. And people, they're just athletes, or just this. They're going through the same thing too, no matter what their bank account is. We're all going through the same thing. Stop trying to find things to complain about and just show some support.
Right.
I don't know. There's a lot of division going on.
When I first watched the very first Monday Night Raw show, and I was like, God, this is so strange with no
weird.
And it was they didn't have no glass.
When it first
happened, it was just they were just coming out, and there was the announcers, and then you could the one thing I thought was cool, you can actually hear what they're saying.
Right.
So that makes it even harder for them because some of the veterans, they call their matches, they
call them
and certain moves to do and stuff like that. But I thought it was cool because you can hear all the the live action, but it was still it was still weird, but
Yeah.
I try to take it for what it was. And
every week I feel like it's getting better and better for them. They're coming, being more innovative. They're deciding on what, what works well. But I know what you're talking about, the grunt, the little undercall that you hear them that you normally wouldn't hear, or even just down to hearing the mat when they step on it. You're like, wow, that's a pretty cool sound I haven't heard in a minute.
Yeah, and that's the way that when you actually go to the event, that's exactly what it sounds like. You can hear that, no matter where you're sitting at. So the wrestling is pretty I still, like I said, I'll probably never stop watching that. So
my son's a huge wrestling fan.
Kid.
Huge. Yep. That's for sure. But people complaining about the noises and stuff like that. Just be grateful. Be grateful that it's something that we have that, right now as another form of therapy.
Right.
Well, who's your winner? Who's your loser for NFL? What was your thoughts?
You know what? The game I enjoyed was like I said, it was the Tampa Bay New Orleans Saints game.
Right.
My buddy was like called them the underdog, Drew Brees, and I was like, wow, really? Okay, if Drew Brees is an underdog, I was like, I'll take him. And we made a friendly $10 bet. Just we're sitting there.
We're talking about quarterbacks ever.
And, I mean, you know what? And at the end of that game, I was like, you know what? People need to. First off, that's the reason that they needed to sign Alvin Kamara and he showed it. I think he had like 3 touchdowns.
Right.
I mean, he's the X factor. I was like, I'll take him. I don't want to hear no excuses about, well, Tom Brady's got to get comfortable with his new team and this and that. First, he's a god. Now he's got to get comfortable with the team, which I agree with that to a point. But everybody had the same amount of time to practice, get together, learn their team, all that stuff like that. And, plain and simple, I mean, people need to start giving Drew Brees that type of Hall of Fame respect that they give Tom Brady. I know he ain't got 57 rings, 6 rings, whatever. The guy's a Hall of Famer. And you know what? I'm going to go on a limb. The way they played, the way that team was, man, both sides of the ball, they were amazing, the Saints. And like I said, don't be surprised if you see them in the Super Bowl this year. The way Tampa Bay looked on both sides of the ball, they looked horrible. And they got a good team. They got Dominican Sue over there. They got a plethora of veterans, man. And they, like I said, they got flat out, beat pretty badly. And we'll see. Tom Brady's teams are usually known to, to come back and win 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row. So we'll see. But and then one thing else another game I want to talk about was
the Patriots and
yeah. I mean, you know what? Cam Newton, he looked good, but he ran in a couple touchdowns and all that. You could see the difference between, when Tom Brady was there and obviously he's a pocket passer. Cam could throw the ball, but he can also run it. That makes him dangerous, but I don't think that he's going to be – I don't think that, he's going to have to – he should rely on him running the ball like that. They're going to have to, make some adjustments and everything down the road because I don't – they once again, like I said, they can't rely on him running the ball like that. He ran a second touchdown in, got hit pretty hard. You don't want to keep seeing that with your starting quarterback. So, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good games on, man. Arizona beat San Francisco, and I'll tell you what, the Arizona quarterback, man, Kyle Murray, he broke off for one, and I was like, wow, this guy, and he's a small guy, he's not a big guy, and I like him just off that run. I was like, wow, he broke off for a touchdown, and I thought he looked really good. He's probably got they got a good quarterback over there probably for years to come. So we'll see. A lot of fun games to watch though. Las Vegas Raiders.
In Phoenix, I got to be honest with you, I hate the Cardinals, but they played another team that I hate, 49ers, so I didn't know who was going to win, but I was surprised.
I mean, hey, that was the former NFC champions, man. I mean, that, that was a big deal to them, I'm sure.
games on. I like I said, I know I was watching the Patriots game, and I was watching the Tampa Bay and Saints game. So those
Right. Right.
we'll see what happens. I know it's early, it's first week, but we'll see what happens. All right, so jumping on to the NBA. Looks like there's there's only 4 teams left here. You got Boston, Miami, and I got to be honest with you, man. Miami is killing it. They went up 2-0 on Boston. Really surprised, but
Right.
I don't know. I'm not. I not that I hate the Heat, but I'm not a Heat fan. I'd rather see like an old school Boston Celtics team win. But I don't like the Heat. And then you got on the West. I was really surprised that the Clippers lost to the Nuggets. They're just mind blowing to me. So you got the Nuggets against Los Angeles Lakers, and the Lakers went up 1-0, so they got the second game tonight. So, who do you got coming out of the East and the West? Who do you got?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's gonna be Miami and the Lakers. I mean, you can't, we'll see, man. A lot of these games go 6-7 games, but yeah, I mean, I was kind of surprised that Boston went down like that too. But I mean, you know what? Now that it's getting to the nitty gritty, I mean, I want it. Like I can't see. I don't want to jump the gun, but I can't see the Lakers. Like I said before, if LeBron James could win 3 championships with 3 different franchises, man, like I kind of seen that coming down the road, in the past, but. So I just go off instinct. I'm not rooting for nobody, of course. My Pistons ain't involved. I really don't. I love watching the NBA, but I really don't care as far as who's gonna win. But LeBron James, man, he's not that far away. So now I'm thinking about him basically just doing some history, creating some history. So. Yeah, I kind of see the Lakers probably eventually taking it all. They find, they're coming together. I know they looked a little shaky in the beginning when the playoffs started, but when you get once again, man, when you got a great like LeBron James, and you got Anthony Davis and all these good role players and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Miami, I don't know. We also like to go for the underdog sometimes. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Love to see. They never won.
Right.
And they never won. So that would be awesome. And that kid, man, he is no joke. I mean, he's killing it. But you got LeBron.
Yeah. Right.
Jumping over to the NHL, we're finally got to Lord Stanley. You got the and God, I just went blank. So you got the Lightning game. The series starts tonight. You got the Lightning and the Stars. Who you got? I mean, you know what? I wouldn't mind the Stars winning. They both have one cup each.
Tampa Bay, man.
I think the cup. I think the Stars won in '99, and I think the Lightning won in '04. But I mean, who do you got? I mean, finally we're here.
Tampa Bay looks like they're just on fire, man. I don't know. I don't even want to get too picky or get too, into it. I mean, Tampa Bay looks like they're just on fire for real. And they've been looking like that throughout the playoffs. So it's probably going to be them.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be Tampa Bay. I mean, that's if I had to pick right now, they're up 2-0, right?
No. It's a series.
It starts tonight. I'm thinking of the other.
The cup starts tonight.
I'm thinking of See, I've been wishy-washy with the NHL, but yeah. So but the way they've been playing good. I know that I did watch some highlights and stuff like that. So I'm just getting a little thrown off there, but yeah. I mean, I like Tampa Bay.
All right. Well, let's go to MLB. Tigers. I know we talk about it every day, but looks like they make it. I know it's a short season. You know what I mean?
There ain't much to talk about, man.
It looks like it's the same teams that are winning. The Dodgers, the A's. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
what's your team right now? And I know that, like I said, we talk about the Tigers, and we're like,
Yeah.
season maybe we can get there, but they got in their struggling woes right now, but
Right.
the rest of the MLB.
Yeah, I mean the Dodgers, man. I think they're pretty much already clinched the playoffs or postseason spot, so they're on fire in the National League. I know about them a lot too because I know I talked to Ray a lot. He's a big Dodger fan. And Tigers, yeah. I mean, like the Lions last week, we got Tigers and Lions got beat up. Tigers got swept by the White Sox.
Right.
Lions got beat by the Bears. I mean, it was a horrible weekend. So, Tigers are pretty much chasing Cleveland right now, but I don't know, man. They just need to just put, like they said in in the movie Major League, man. If you win 2 games, that's called a winning streak. They just need to put something like that together. But
yeah,
there ain't that many games left. There's like 20 something games left, 22 games or something like that. But
they got to win all 20.
Yeah. At least like 12 of them. I don't know, but yeah, they're chasing the Indians. They're like 5 games back. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird season, man. 60 games. I mean, that's just really don't have too much to say about it. I'm just kind of sitting back and enjoying it. Like Tori said, just enjoying what sports we're getting right now, and just see what happens.
Right. So we'll jump over to the UFC. So I know this made headlines. McGregor denied the accusation of sexual allegations. I don't know, Tori. What do you think? I mean, this guy's constantly in the news. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just, like, is he denying it? Is it true? You know what I mean? Like, he's got the personality, but I mean, he's got a beautiful wife, right?
And that's what I don't want to believe, because I love how they love each other. Like, they really do love each other. They're down, the ride or dies. Like, they have no problem talking about it. I would hope that the temptation hasn't gotten a hold of him. He seems pretty strong-willed. I've been, who Tony Robbins is, the motivational speaker. So he does a lot of stuff with Tony Robbins. So I'm holding on for hope that this did not happen. This is just somebody, who has maybe taken a comment out of context. We all flirt, we all say little things, we all give off a certain vibe, but I feel that there's a huge line between, assault and flirting or whatever happened, and if he did cheat, I still hope it wasn't assault. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I'm hoping he didn't cheat, though, because I really like him and his wife. Like, they're good. They got a great energy. That they
beautiful
got that
baby daughter, so adorable.
Right. So God, I hope not. I hope he didn't cheat. I hope he didn't assault somebody. And if he did cheat, I hope it still wasn't assault, because that's never okay. Right. So I don't know. It's hard to speak on that. I know I feel bad for her regardless, because now all this extra shit that you don't need put in your life. So I guess we'll have to see what comes out and who the accuser is and their background, and that says a lot about a person too.
Right.
So
how about you?
I don't want to believe it, though.
Yeah, no, I'm 110% agreeing with Tori. It's like, I don't cause I follow him on Instagram, so I see, like, that doesn't mean that's exactly what he's doing and all that, but he does post a lot of family stuff, especially with his daughter and all that stuff like that. But I think he's slowly kind of work his way back into a fight soon. I don't know. If I was him, man, I'd retire. He don't even need to fight no more. He really don't. He really doesn't. And I mean, he done, made his mark. Like, he's got his liquor, or his,
He's got the liquor. He's got the clothing line.
He's good, man. I mean, like,
he's got a lot of stuff going on that, and so hopefully he clears this up because he's cocky, because he's arrogant, because of his personality and how he, he always has his chest puffed up. You tend to think he can back it up.
He's a talker. I love him because
he don't just bark. He can bite.
Talk, right?
Right. No, I'm Italian. We talk over everybody. I love it. I'm Italian and Irish.
You made me feel a lot. Yeah, you made me feel a lot better.
Yeah, I resonate with that. Get in where you fit in. Just talk right over me. I'm never offended. And some people get offended, but that's just how I was raised, Italians and Mexicans and Latinos, that's how we are. So you just get in where you fit in. So I'm hoping he didn't do this.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's just somebody looking for some extra money.
Yeah.
And
it's like, where does he have the time, like you said, he's got his beautiful family. That's like where did he find the time to step out?
And it could have been something that, nowadays stuff pops up from past.
Right.
And, because they've been together so long, I'm sure there were some things, but I like to think of just him too, like I said, of knowing the stuff that he's doing with Tony Robbins and the certain things, and just watching him over the years evolve from this cocky know-it-all to somebody who, he's still cocky, know-it-all, but he's more reserved. He's smarter. He thinks smarter. So, we don't need
they're saying
stuff going on.
I just looked it up right now, and I didn't even they're saying that he on September that he sexually assaulted, that he exposed himself. I think it says exposed himself and attempted to sexually assault someone on September 10th in a bar. I mean, that just sounds kind of funny, kind of,
Who's sexually assaulting somebody with their pants down in the middle of a bar?
Right. I mean, that sounds kind of like wow, like someone just.
He probably told someone to suck his dick. Maybe that's what he did. That sounds a little bit more reasonable. Oh, fuck you, suck my dick. Here, you want to see it? Wham.
Right. And and they took it.
They're like, oh, he tried to fuck me.
Yep, there's some money right here. We can get some money from him.
Right. Moral of the story, you got that money, have your own fucking bar. Why are you in a public place with all these peons?
Right.
What are you doing?
Well, that's why we didn't do it. So let's stay in the fighting world. I know we've talked about it in the second podcast. And I wanted to bring it up real quick, but it was pushed back. The Tyson-Roy Jones fight originally was scheduled for this month, and it got pushed back to November. I read the article that I sent you, Alex, and it's saying Roy Jones has made a mistake and probably should not be involved in this fight. And the reason why he said that is he's saying, Tyson's taking this for real.
For real.
Fight. And Roy Jones says, wait a minute, I thought this was like a celebrity you know what I mean? This was going to be
just a charity thing.
And he's like, I don't know. I think I made a mistake. Do you think he made a mistake because he's not training like Tyson? Because Tyson is he's ready for I'm watching a Rocky movie, right?
Right. And I just watched that the other day. He might end up like Apollo Creed.
Yeah, he's training for
I think it's a huge mistake.
Yeah, so, I mean, what's your thoughts? I mean, do you think Roy Jones should back out, or should he just stay in the fight? I mean, what's going on?
I think Tyson should have, if Evander Holyfield wanted to fight, I think he should have went after something like that, kind of waited, because, it seems like, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but Roy Jones is getting irritated with a lot of things, and I don't understand why. If you sign to fight, man, you sign to fight. I mean, it's 8 rounds. You know what I mean? It's an 8-round fight. So obviously, the stipulations and everything. So I don't know what his problem is. Maybe he's just scared. Maybe I don't know. But maybe he's not taking it as serious. But if he ain't, but I like I said, I don't care if Tyson's 60 years old. I still don't want to get hit by him.
No.
Even as a professional boxer. So I don't know. We'll see.
No, and he's taking it serious. This is his comeback. This is his last go around. Make it, known. No, he's coming. He's coming for blood. So I'm scared for him. As soon as I seen that, I'm like, what are they thinking? Somebody's definitely going to be hurt. Yeah. For real. This is more than just a charity name, celebrity. No. This is to prove something.
Right. And then I wanted to bring it up real quick, and then we'll talk about our last subject. But Naomi Osaka, she secured her second U.S. Open title. I know we don't. I'm not a big tennis fan, but I caught that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was, you know what I mean? Like, that's pretty amazing. And I know you're a tennis fan because you like a certain tennis player, and you could tell her name was Alex. But
oh yeah, Serena Williams, of course.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. You know,
love me some Serena.
I watched Serena Williams for like the last almost 15 years, man. Yeah,
my son has a crush on her. He's like hard.
I named my car Serena.
I love it. I love it.
I'm not a big tennis fan, but I mean, I thought that was cool. Yeah, this young girl wins her second title.
Right. Right. No. Yeah. No. I kind of paid attention to her. I was watching a little bit of Serena play. You know, when she was when before she lost and got knocked out, but you know, I want to pronounce her name. I don't want to get it wrong, Osaka. But yeah, she was the first player in 26 years to win a U.S. Open women's singles final after losing the first set. So I thought that was a big deal. But yeah, she's definitely going to be someone to reckon with for sure. I don't watch it faithfully like that. You know, back in the day, I'll be honest. I was watching Serena Williams because I thought she was hot, and then the more I watched her, and I really got into it. You know, I really got into it, and I made sure that I watched her every, you know, whether it was U.S. or, you know, the Wimbledon or whatever. I was watching her like on you know, when I didn't have to work on Saturdays. So I really got into it, just like a lot of people didn't watch golf, and then, you know, for whatever reason, they started watching Tiger Woods. But I realized how amazing her and her sister, you know,
incredible.
I watched them both, not just her. And and then, you know, I would watch a little bit of the guys and stuff like that, like Andre Agassi back in the day. And you know, so she turned me on to it, you know, and that's what the greats do. So she's definitely a legend. She's the GOAT, greatest woman of all time. So I love Serena Williams.
That you like Serena Williams. I mean, do you like tennis? I mean, do you watch?
Actually, I love tennis. I grew up playing tennis. One of my mother's brothers was semi-pro. He's played with Andre Agassi. Growing up, he would babysit me and my sister, you know, and he would take us to where he had to go play. And at the time, I had zero respect for the game. I'm causing problems. I'm switching people's lockers in the locker room. We're loading lockers with tennis balls, so when they open it all pours on them. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah, right there at 9 Mile and Kelly, there's a place, and we would go all the time. And my uncle finally is like, put a racket in your fucking hand. You're gonna learn how to play.
Wow, that's right around the corner from my sister's house.
Yeah, it's right there, Peachtree. So, but we used to cause some havoc up in that place. And then finally he's like, that's hilarious. You know, either your mom's going to find someone else to watch you two fucking fools, or you're going to learn. Right. So, my uncle holds championships. His two sons hold like Midwest championships. They're like between that and tennis and hockey. And I have a pair of rackets in my car. I actually just started teaching Michelle how to play. And so we'll go in the morning and even just tossing the ball around. It's one of my forms of therapy that I love to do.
It's not an easy sport to play either.
It's not. Even just understanding the game. I tell people just get your handwork down. Right. Connect with the ball, run around, get your mind going, your body flowing, and then learn it. But once you get that, it's actually a really great sport. And it's one of those sports where you're by yourself, but you have a partner or the other person you're playing with, but you get a lot of enjoyment.
If you don't have
it's great exercise too.
One thing I learned about that, if you don't, we used to go over here at Clark Park and play with, my friend Raymond's sister. She played it, both of his sisters, and they were pretty good. They played at Western International, and but we used to go over there and try to play, and his sister would be like, I mean, God, she made it look so easy and so fun. But then when we would swing the rackets, we ended up just knocking them out of the game.
Yeah.
But you definitely got to have some endurance for that. I don't care who, Yeah, it's not an
I
easy
feel
sport
it's
at
like
all.
it's like riding a bike in the sense where if you've done it before, you know, the first couple times when I get back into playing, I'm like, oh God, I look like I've never picked a racket up in my entire life. I look terrible.
Right.
But after, you know, like 4 or 5 times, it just comes right back to you. But like as Drake said, I'm also one of those people, my mind never shuts off. So it's one of those sports that allows me to be with my thoughts,
Right.
and it slows my mind down. You know, I'm thinking of stuff, but I'm also exerting energy, and I just love it. It's a good sport to get into.
Yeah, I just never been a big fan. Maybe I'm just a perv. I like to watch the girls because they.
I don't think, maybe, right? Yeah.
Wrong reasons. There you go. We'll talk about the last subject. I know me and Tori are on the West Coast, but it's been pretty devastating, and they're fighting the wildfires in California, in the western part of the state.
Yes.
I don't know if you've noticed some of the pictures that they've been releasing in like San Francisco, and the sky is just like torch red and stuff like that. I don't know. I think we got so much things going on, and COVID.
That's crazy, man.
Like, Jesus Christ, what else do we need going on? I mean, I don't know if you guys caught any of the pictures that is going on in the Bay.
Devastating.
Yeah, just devastating.
I
And
did.
I don't even know how it started.
Devastating.
Yeah, just some of the wreckage that's happened.
My son told me yesterday one of the largest ones started from a gender reveal party.
Ooh. Wow.
And I guess the woman who was the originator of the gender reveal made a statement because people were coming to her, and you know, and she just said, like, she feels terrible because it's turned into this big old thing, and people are doing it with sparks and fireworks, and yeah, my son told me it was from a gender reveal party, one of the largest ones, and I said,
Wow.
terrible, you know. I don't know. The whole thing is devastating, down from seeing the pictures to knowing that you have friends and family that live that way or have homes, to just even the air quality in our area.
Right.
And they popped up a map of Utah, California, Arizona, New Mexico, all of that, Oregon. And it's scary. Like, Phoenix is right in the middle of everything.
Right.
It's scary. It's very scary.
Yeah, I mean, that's even affecting the weather over here. That's how big it is. If people can't, if that can't give you an idea, then I don't know what will.
Yeah.
You know, it's affecting the even just the weather over here, like, you know, and I was like blown away by that. But I actually watched a little bit of Biden talking about it, and all I needed to hear, I watched for about 20 minutes of I think you did a watch party, Drake. And the one thing I took from it was like how he just like 5 million acres. I was like, wow, like, can't even comprehend that, man. That's crazy, and it's still going on. So
they're letting animals go in our neighborhood. I just saw a couple days ago, horses and just farm animals that they don't, you know, they're not sure. The people have to evacuate, and they don't want to leave them tied up. But I follow a lot of people that have had to evacuate their homes in Malibu and San Fran, just all over. It's just terrible. And then, like, even the other day, I was going to take my son out. He's still pretty much in quarantine. If we do anything, like, we were going to go to the drive-in theater, and I didn't realize how bad the air was until later on that day. I'm stuffy, and I had been outside all day, and it didn't click to me that that's what's going on here, because
air quality,
everything else seemed. So I just told them, like, yeah, we're not going.
So those people that they said started from a gender party, I mean, did they find them? I mean, they gotta, you know what I mean? Like, it's costing millions of dollars. Like, you know what I mean? Do they have to face some type of charges, or?
Right.
I would think so.
That's a good question.
I would think so. I mean, but accidents are accidents.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know how that works. Yeah, he just told me that yesterday or the day before. So
that's a gargantuan accident.
Huge.
So we're gonna go out. I don't know if you got to plug anything. I know that I did talk to my graphic artist, a good buddy of mine. Smack Graphics. He's gonna put your logo into our logo or whatever. So did you know? Did you need to
cool.
plug some stuff? And I know Alex, you're gonna plug some stuff, but we're gonna wrap it up and
I want to give one shout out to a good longtime friend of mine, Jason Rios, at the shop Screen Printing. If you're over here in Detroit, Michigan, it's located on 3444 Bagley Street in Detroit. And if you're looking for like any embroidery, screen printing, graphic design, laser engraving, he does cut and sewing, photography. He also does photography. Just looking to put a logo on a shirt or go in there and check out what he has. He does an amazing job. And I just want to give him a shout out. You can look him up on Instagram at Mexican Town. And it's called, once again, the name of his shop is called The Shop Screen Printing. So, I just want to give Jason a shout out.
Yeah, he's right next to Tamales. So.
Right. Yeah, you want to go grab a bite to eat some Mexican food. You're surrounded by all the Mexican restaurants in Mexican Town. So, go check them out.
All right. Sorry.
So I am news to everybody. I'm relaunching my clothing line. I actually had a lot of good things happen this week behind the scenes. So I'm working with a new vendor, and I took my website after the other day. I was going through things and I'm like, wait a second. So I shut my website down. We're revamping that. I'm going to be the vendor that I'm pairing with just got some new contracts. So I'm pretty excited about the new clothes that we're going to offer. So I've just been working on that the past week and, staying busy, ready to launch.
That's awesome.
Relaunch. Yeah, I'm excited.
So I wanted to tell some
Thanks.
people that have been tuning in, congratulations. Make sure to go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, follow, share. Go to our Facebook, like it, whatever. So I have a good friend of mine. She just recently started an event planning business out in east part of Michigan. So I believe it's probably like Mount Clemens area. So it's called Superior Event Planning. Her name is Cecilia Zavala. So she's doing weddings, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you have any questions or you need something planned, give her a call. Telephone number is 313-646-8410. And once again, that's Cecilia Zavala. Definitely check out my cousin down there. If they open up a new spot, I think we talked about it last week, right on the west end of Detroit. It's on the west side, but she's doing tacos on Thursday. So Detroit Love Tacos on Thursday. Let me get her stuff here. Give me a second. Sorry.
Some tacos now.
Tacos. Well, she's doing.
I was like, does she deliver?
That's Nancy with Taco Tuesday. So go check her out every Tuesday. And then, like I said, they're doing on Thursday. They're doing on the west side of Detroit. They're doing their Thursdays. It's on John R. It's 9425 John R. Detroit Loves Tacos. And like I said, it's on the west end. It's in the Boston Edison district. So go check it out. My boy Jose, if you haven't been to his shop, go check out Detroit Forever. They're on Michigan Avenue and 51st Avenue. So go check that out. Anything else, Alex? I think that's it. It's a wrap.
No. Thanks, to everybody. Thanks for Tori. I'm glad she's joining us now and makes the show a lot better. Just thank you everybody for tuning in, whoever did. And if, like I said, quick.
Every Tuesday, we check out Mike D at Giovanni's on West Verner. He's cooking burgers. I heard it's really good, so go check out Mike.
Hey.
Yeah, it is. I know I need to go up there still. I keep saying I'm gonna go and I haven't yet, but
right,
no. Other than that, just everybody be cool, be safe, and be kind.
All right.
So, be kind to one another. Be blessed.
That's all I got.